Hey there, my name is Miss Wolfe, and I'm going to be teaching English 1 this semester. If you're watching this video, you may have me for Essentials of English 1 and English 1, or just English 1, or perhaps even Seminar English 1. So I'm super stoked about teaching you guys no matter what level we're at. It's going to be awesome. If you guys have me in the back half of the year, like going into 2021, we are going to be reading Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, so that's definitely something to look forward to. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Again, I'm Miss Wolfe. I come from Winston-Salem. That's where I was born and raised. I have a husband and 2 children. My son is getting ready to go to Wiley. He's about to be 12. Crazy. And then I've got a little one who's about to be 2. So, got kind of a full house going on here. Anyhow, I graduated in 2014 from UNCG. I got my bachelor's in English and I graduated with triple honors, so it was cum laude with disciplinary honors and communications honors. So that's pretty awesome. I'm actually back at UNCG right now, finishing up my teaching license. So even though this is my second year at Parkland and my 4th year teaching, I'm still finishing up my license. And for those of you who don't even remotely know what that means, that's okay. You can always shoot me an email, ask me questions, and I'm going to show you how to do that here today. I'm going to see my desktop. I'm just going to show you all a few ways that I want for you to understand how to maybe utilize my Canvas and a couple of other things that you might need. So first of all, if you go to your browser, which I use Chrome, so you guys can see I'm going to go to Chrome. I've already logged into Canvas prior to recording this video. So as you can see, I've got a few different courses here. These little tiles will pop up for you. Got some little retro 80s thing going. If you guys get an opportunity to see my classroom, which I'm going to try to remember to show you before the end of this video, then you'll see why I chose my nice retro 80s theme. But regardless, if you're in one of my courses, you will see one of these tiles, and it's got things like seminar, second period, third period, and so on. Just gonna find your class, and then once you go in, you'll be able to see just sort of the home page and how you can get to a few important places. For now, because my dashboard shows that I have these, but they are clearly not published, they're not finished. So I'm going to go down here to my sandbox, and I've got a few things already up. I'm going to transfer over, so this should look the same. When you go to your home page, it's to say that you're in English 1. It's going to give you a little overview about myself and this nifty little picture of me from like 10 years ago. So, yeah, a little inaccurate as far as what I look like, but I like that picture. It's fun. Regardless of that, I've got my email here. I've got a remind code for you, and if you forget your remind code or your parents want it or you switch phones or something, I've got this right here. So you can see it's Wolfe PMA 21. I don't have the instructional time listed because I'm still working out some of the details or my office hours. But once all that stuff gets updated, you will see when my office hours are. And for those of you that don't know what office hours means, it is time that is set aside by a teacher, or if you get to college, a professor, wherein they are putting aside like one-on-one time to meet with a student about anything. I mean, it could be about the class, it could be about school, just whatever you need for those office hours. If you just need somebody to talk to, you can use those. We'll work through the year to kind of talk about a little bit more about how those will work and how you can set up some time with me to have some one-on-one. Regardless, if you don't utilize the office hours, it's no big deal. They are there, they are not required. It's just if you need it. If you want to take a look at our syllabus, I've got a handy dandy link here, and it will take you to just a few things. Again, it's just kind of got the about me, and then it's got our expectations, which I'm going to go over in a minute, some more important information, and then it's got our pacing guide. And our pacing guide is really unique this year. For those of you that don't know, we are well, we've gotten a new textbook. It's the first time in 15 or 16 years that our district has got a new textbook. So I'm super excited. It's ultra updated, it's all digital. You're going to be able to access it on a laptop or on your phone. It's going to be super awesome. I'm extremely stoked. Although there are 6 units that are in this textbook, I'm going to show you the 4 that we're going to be working in. Now, these numbers don't exactly match what these unit numbers say here, but that's okay. Just bear with me. Oh, whoops. So I've got Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4 listed. Tells you what our primary text is and how long it should take us to get through. And what that means is, like, although our primary text for, say, Unit 1 is going to be loser, that doesn't mean that we're only going to study loser for 3 to 5 weeks. That will just be the text that we base all of our additional texts off of. So articles or other pieces of literature will all be based around this one. If you scroll down a little bit more, I've got my standards. Now, these are all in it may not be in student friendly language, but if you have questions about it, I'm going to go over our standards at the beginning of the year. If you're watching this video because you've come into it later in the year and you want a refresher, go back to those office hours, hit me up, and we can chat. But some of these are pretty self-explanatory. So for example, if we were looking at this right here, RL 9 to 10.3, that means that it's reading literature, and it's standard 9.3 because, we're freshmen. They're not in the 10th grade just yet, but these are all the same standards year to year. So, for example, it says to analyze how complex characters develop over the course of a text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop the theme. So, as you can see, that's kind of a lot. We're going to unpack those standards. We're going to figure out what that means, what our goals are. It's going to be a lot less complex to look at. But this is here if you're curious or your parents or guardians are curious about what we're learning. That said, like I said before, we've got this nice, awesome textbook by HMH. We're going to go over how to log into the textbook and everything, so don't worry. I don't expect you guys to just jump into this right off the cuff. But I do want to show you a couple of things that I think are really awesome. And hopefully, if you have more questions, you can shoot me a message. We can make time. But for now, it's just a brief overview. So, for example, we are going to start in Unit 3. It's called The Bonds Between Us. And what's really, really, really cool is that this is a totally digital textbook, like I said before. So we're going to be able to view everything from this textbook, from our literature or informational text all the way up through any kind of grammar help you could need, writing, everything. It's all here for us. So you guys are going to have what's called the student edition. So if I was to open the student edition of the first text we're going to learn this year, then you'll be able to see all the cool resources that you have just from reading. Here we are. We've got what short story it is. There's a poem. We've got essential questions. And we'll kind of go through all this stuff together. There's vocabulary. And there is the actual text itself. And so we're going to look at the background. We'll be able to, prepare to compare, and then we'll be reading. And one of the really cool things is there is audio for you guys up here. So look forward to that. You can take notes. There's all sorts of stuff we're going to go over this year. So again, that's going to be in our login. I will go over that with you all myself. Getting back to the course outline, the homepage. Underneath the course outline, I've got a few other links. They're not quite ready yet because we're just kind of jumping in and getting started, but we do have a link to our what we're going to call modules, and the modules will be where you're going to find the work about, say, the short story, and you'll get it's basically where all of your assignments live. Okay, and then you're going to have access to another page that says grades, and once my somewhat slow internet decides to load, you will be able to look at your grades here. I know some of you are more familiar with PowerSchool, but don't worry, we're going to learn all this together. I've totally got your back. All right, that said, what you guys are viewing now is actually my view. So we're just going to roll back for a second, and I want to show you what your view of this will most likely look like. So I'm just going to go down to my handy dandy student view, and this is more likely what you are going to see. So over on the left, it's not so inundated with links that you're not going to use, but it will have whatever links that you're going to need right over here on this left-hand side. And then over here in the middle, you've got your text. And over here on the right, we've got some other links that I will get more into later, like our course calendar, which is going to come in handy for helping you stay on track. I myself have a calendar that I use, and it really helps me stay, focused and understand what I need to do, when I need to do it, so that I can work around my own schedule. So please keep this in mind for my class. I think it's going to help you guys out a whole lot. Class looks like. So if you don't have an opportunity to come into the classroom this year physically, at least want you guys to get a feel for this, because I'm super proud of my classroom. It is one of my favorite spaces to be in. That's my door. I kind of sticker bombed it. It's one of my favorite things that I have, period, like in my house or in my classroom. I love this doorway. I intend to add more stickers to it by the end of the year, hopefully fill the whole thing up. What I do have is a Stranger Things theme that I hope that we'll get an opportunity to kind of have fun with a little bit throughout the year. And this is just where my front board would be if you were sitting in the classroom. And I've got my nifty Mario wall and Dungeons and Dragons. And then I've got my back wall back here where I usually kind of put what I'm reading, although I need to update that because that is not what I'm currently reading right now. That was from back in March. But I've got some handy posters, and then as you can see right here, I've got my alphabet wall from Stranger Things. If you haven't watched Stranger Things, it's totally fine. It is not a requirement for the course by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted you all to get, I don't know, to have something fun to kind of play around with. And here is our beautiful view that I really, really hope that we have the opportunity to take advantage of later on in the year. If not, then at least you kind of got to see it. Right, so I'm going to wrap things up with you guys real quick. If I did mention earlier, kind of hijacked my son's room. You probably won't see me in here again. He was not here right now, so I took advantage of his desk, tripod on, and all that jazz. But anyhow, I'm super looking forward to this year. I want you to know that even if you don't know me, some of you, if you went to Philo, may know me, but if you don't know me, I am the type of person / teacher who is 100% on your team. I'm in your corner, and I want you to know that I'm going to be here for you the remainder of the year and hopefully throughout your time here at Parkland Magnet High School. I'm so stoked to be starting the year, even though I love summer and I'm very disappointed that it's ending and I didn't really even get to go swimming. That's okay, life moves on. But anyhow, if you're in need of anything at all, again, hit me up, email, remind, whatever you need to do. I'm here for you. I can be here. If you're a parent, I'm here for you guys too. 100%. I'm on your team as well. So my goal is for us to get through English 1, move on, and you've got, one step out of the way before graduation. So anyhow, best of luck to you guys, and I'll be seeing you soon.